What's up, everybody? So, today we are actually going to go and play a game that I haven't played in a very long time, but I have been paying for a very long time. This is Ultima Online, and if you'd like to see me play this game more consistently, feel free to like and subscribe and comment below what you would like to see me actually attempt to do in this game, or just talk about your favorite memories from it, because that's basically what I'm going to do right now. So I started Ultima Online back in 2001. I was in high school, which that kind of dates me a little bit, but big surprise, I'm old. But I was just starting high school, and a friend of mine told me about this really cool game that his uncle played, and he said it was Ultima Online, and he actually got an account to play with me. So we would run around, and he was telling me all these cool things you could do, like chop wood and go, just explore and role play with people, and you make all of these things and make stuff that you can use to kill monsters. And it was such a cool idea to me because at this point we didn't have the ability to fire up Steam or Epic or whatever your platform of choice is and play something like Ark, where you essentially have that survival aspect. This was kind of like the survival aspect before it was cool. So, like, you don't have to worry about your hunger or anything like that. But as you can see, all of these animals you can kill and get meat from and get hide from. There's different things that you need to cast spells laying on the ground, so you could basically pick that. And all of these trees you can chop and get wood and turn into whatever. Yeah, be like arrows or bows or furniture or. So I'm looking for Monarch right now, which I've not been to for a very long time, and I think this is Vesper. I don't remember. I think we went the wrong way. Is that the best? That's the bank in Vesper, I think. I've played this game since 2001, which means I have played it longer than some of you may have been alive, and that's kind of crazy to me. But hey, these are all player houses, by the way. They're not. They're not like buildings. Is the graveyard this way? I feel like there's a graveyard down here. Yeah, there's the graveyard. So I used to come here when I was training, because the way Ultima works is you have skills. Keep in mind, this was before EverQuest. Initially, EverQuest was like the game that competed with it. It was a decent, like it was a decent amount of time before WoW. Like the guild that I was in this game actually got me into the closed beta, the very initial closed beta of World of Warcraft, and I don't typically brag about it, but because of my participation and my guild's participation, there are things in World of Warcraft that are actually targeted toward us. So that's cool. Like the Blizzard dev team did actually, like a lot of the factions and stuff are actually nods to the people that helped them, which is cool. There's always a nod to something in there of the people who helped in the early stages, which a lot of games wouldn't do that. So I don't know if this is Monarch or not. Like, you have to keep in mind, I used to play this game a lot. Like, when I was a freshman and sophomore in high school, I would log onto this game and I would play for 8 to 10 hours a day. So basically, I would be in school all day until like 3 o'clock. That's when we let out. And from about 3:30 until I went to bed that night, I would be on here. And sometimes I would even skip school to play. I think the mines are over here, right? Yeah, there we are. Like, this is where I spent most of my time when I was young, my teenage years. And in order to mine, you technically have to double click your pickaxe here. So basically, yeah, the bag system was terrible in this game. like you double click your pickaxe and you target your node, which you don't have visible nodes like World of Warcraft or anything like that. You have rocks, and it's like an 8x8 grid. So once this is gone, you would have to travel at least 8 paces, and then you can start getting stuff again. So, like, this is the process you would have to do in order to mine the ore, which I'm not running UO Assist here, which I do actually have. I don't think I have it installed, but if you want to see like the see I move and I can get more ore. But like if you want to see additional videos from it, then I can actually grab UO Assist again and get my keys up and running. But this was basically it. Like you would run around, you would mine, you would take your ore and you would smelt it, and like you can see it piling up on my backpack here, but it's not like you double click here and then you can target the bug. That's a fire beetle, so it actually works as a forge. Well, you can see it turns it into ingots, which you can use to craft various things with. You can use it like tinkering and blacksmithing or whatever. And since this is a skill-based game, you basically just have to grind those skills up. And it was just so cool to me back in the day. And you know, back when the community was stronger and it was a more current game, you could go around and you could talk to people and get to know people, and I formed so many really cool friendships back then because you would have the people who lived in the game. You know, it was there's a fortune table you can use, and you can actually go inside this cave too. But like you can see here, this is what your skills look like, and you can turn them up or turn them down. Just kind of checking to see if I have lumberjacking here, which I do. You can see this inventory system is terrible, and it didn't improve until the enhanced client, which I think released with Age of Shadows back in God knows when. That's actually when I placed my house. I had another house. I had a house in Fell, and Fell is an area where, like, this is the crafting menu, so you can even tell this is dated. I'm surprised I even remembered how to do that. But I had a house in Fell for a while, and then I had a sandstone, which is a little bit bigger. And then I had a small tower, which was, it wasn't a big house, it was a very small tower. And like you can tell, like, if you don't have UO Assist and you're trying to play this game, it was god awful. It was terrible controls, but we had some memories back then with my little small tower. And at that point, you could actually steal people's houses, which was absurd. But you know, I worked, like I put so much work into the game. Like I put so much time into it. I knew every system. I knew it in and out, and I was like a power gamer to where I would level up every single skill, and I would have them in reserve or whatever. And I still have them somewhere. I have a lot of skills that aren't actually on characters because you can soulstone them now. So I had so many skills that I could use at whenever. It was such a fun game back then. Like, this was before the modern, I guess, the conveniences. So if you hop on WoW right now, it's so much different than Ultima Online. And even today, Ultima Online has a lot of different. Oh no. Why do I not have? Do I not have one? Okay, this is bad. So, in order to get home, you have two options. Option one is to run to your home, and the other option is to create a runestone that you can use to get home. And it appears that I do not have a rune book with my home in it, and I don't remember where the gate is because it's been about probably 10 years since I even tried to go to the gate. So this is going to be probably a fairly long run to find the gate and see if I can remember where it's at. But yeah, anyway, this is a game that was before the modern um, quality of life things, and there's even some things in this game now, like the chat. You see it going at the bottom. There's even stuff now that didn't exist when I played in the past, and it's quality of life stuff that I wouldn't even have dreamed about back then. So I mean, it's not a great game. I don't think I would tell anybody that they should start today because it's very very old school, and it's actually painful to play the 2D client now because back when I played initially, we had 56K was fast. I think T1 was just taking off in some areas, so there were a handful of people that were on T1, and it was just. This should be the way to Vesper, if I remember right. So this is actually another thing. Like this game was, a lot of the old D&D types would play this game back in the day, and this is a route I ran a lot, and I ran into a lady who she played the game a lot. She had a large tower just above here. I'm sure I could probably go. I don't know if the large tower would still be there, but I'm sure it probably is. But I met her like 20 years ago, and she was basically a very grandmotherly type. And I think she was like 65, 70 at the time. She was very much a grandmotherly type. And she was a little stern, but she was very helpful. She helped me a lot, leveling up different skills like alchemy and poisoning and stuff like that. And she was always a little strict with me. I was a kid back then, so I'm sure I probably annoyed her a lot. But I think one of the reasons I still play this game is because of interactions like that I had with people. And it's just something that you don't really encounter. A number of years ago, she ended up passing away, and yeah, it was really hard for everybody in my guild at the time and everybody who I played with regularly because she was like that grandmother to everybody, and we had fun with her. She was kind of like the old grandma that would kill you if you weren't paying attention. She always had pets that she would sick on you, which you can't actually do that in this game. Like everything that you have is a pet, and you can't actually use the animals, tame them, and use them in combat. So that was her favorite thing to do. She would always tame things, and that was probably the first. That was probably the first in-game death. Kind of hit me. Obviously, it's been so long at this point. I know that there's no emotion there anymore. Like I guess it's easier to get over something like that, but I do think she was probably closer to a grandma than when my actual grandma. Oh, look, I found it. When my actual grandma was, because she played a bigger part in my teenage years. So it's hard losing her. Run back to my house. I actually like my location here. It's kind of easy to remember how to get to. But yeah, there were more over the years, more of the people that I played with that unfortunately did pass on. But a lot of cases they were in their 60s and 70s when I even met them. So I don't know, it's crazy. I have a lot of stories like that that I could share with you. And yeah, switch back to my pickaxe. So this is kind of showing you that inside of a cave you can actually mine. And I have plenty of room around my base that I can actually mine, but that's probably why I don't remember where Monarch is. But as you can see, you can just kind of mine the floor. But yeah, I just thought this could be a fun little trip down memory lane. I'll actually go over other things like combat and all that. Maybe we can touch on that if you guys want to see it. And who knows, maybe some of you have played Ultima Online in the past or heard about it and wouldn't mind seeing it and kind of being nostalgic, which I think the music was really good, honestly. So maybe I'll try to incorporate that because I think I can grab it from the files. Probably get copyright struck, but whatever. But yeah, you can mine ore, you can mine gems, and the ore veins do have specific spots that you can mine them. So yeah, you can have rune books and stuff, which I'm just not a good crafter because I never really took to it much. But anyway, just thought I'd get this out there, and yeah, if you guys enjoyed, I will make more. So I'm gonna dump these off into my chest if I can remember where. Yeah, maybe we'll do a home renovation video after 20 years. Might be time. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Maybe I'll make a longer one if you guys liked it. Have a good night, everybody.